I don't know why Nigerians have the idea of this thing needs to work now.
It's like I think it's at the core of it is if there isn't really clarity in what vision you have, they say when you don't have a vision, speed is a disadvantage. It's like when you don't know where you're going and you're running, you will crash. So it's like sometimes people don't really take time to want to know where they're going. So for me, why I don't really take cognizance that time is running out, it's because I have an understanding that I have where I'm going. So if it's going to take me this period to gather experiences, to learn to be patient, because patience is one currency that if you don't have in the film space, it will mess with your mental health. You will be frustrated and you will almost quit. So I was supposed to say hi, Adi.
No, like that. Like, what's your problem?
But how are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a minute.
To be honest, I'm great.
I know it was so quick. We're always almost on the same project.
To be honest.
Almost on the same project. I think like we have like 3 projects back to back that we did one time.
One we're enemies.
Yes.
The
Then
other
we're
one we're allies. Now we're prisoners. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
last year we did like a couple of projects together. I really enjoyed that.
To be honest, if there's an audition and I see you there and I know it's like a cast for two, I'm just happy because they always think that these two just go hand in hand.
Yeah, but funny enough, I was jealous of you the first time I met you.
Jesus.
I was actually jealous of you.
Actually, I know why.
Why?
So here's the thing, and I didn't find out till later. Apparently, the character I played, and I was pissed when Vinny said that thing. So he said, if I'd seen a day before you, I'd have cast a day for it. And I'm like, you're lucky you're paying my salary. You're really lucky. Because it was crazy, but then I didn't take it to heart.
Yeah, because one thing I've noticed about you is like you're not that type of person. You see the bigger picture and everything. You're not someone to like, oh, they said this about this.
Plus we had wrapped, so
yeah, like we had already wrapped the project, and we had not exactly wrapped. It was a soft wrap, but you know how it is.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason why he said that was because he knew. Okay, never mind.
You didn't have that conversation here. Honestly.
Never mind.
Yeah, but like, how's it been like for you? Because I know you've been in the game longer than me.
No, don't make it sound like I'm one OG, please. I'm young.
But you're legit an OG.
No, I'm not an OG. I'm never an OG. I'm forever young. Timmy is not even an OG. Timmy will tell you he's young. So why are you calling me OG?
But you've been in the game longer, yes or no?
Which game?
When did you start?
Every year I start afresh. Every year it's a new year for me. But to be honest, it's been a very, very great journey so far. To be honest, I don't think I ever think that, oh my God, when am I going to blow? Oh my God, when am I going to? To be honest, for me, it's just, oh yes, there's a film to do. Let's do it. So I really don't know when time is counting because I'm just doing. And sometimes it's up until recently, I started having that mindset of, oh wait, it's been 3 months since I had to audition for something, or it's been 4 months since someone's called me and say, hi, are you available for an audition? So, but earlier, I never really used to take cognizance of time is going. It's like I'm acting today, tomorrow I'm interning with the director, next tomorrow I'm editing a friend's project, or I'm deeping something, or I'm creating something. So it's never really vacant for me. So having to now see how these years have passed and it's beginning to make sense that, and to be honest, it's from the projects I even least expect. I'm not even like, I didn't think Afamefuna was going to create that kind of buzz that he did. Unfortunately, the projects I thought would do that are not even out. So it's like, the one I was like, oh my God, when this comes out, damn, it's going to.
Who I am.
And I'm meeting the EP at an event. Say, don't worry, we're coming. Man, you told me this 3 years ago. Now I'm getting married and it's not ready yet. No, I'm not getting married. I'm just saying
I was
like
gonna
time
say
is
like
fine.
I'm not your best man. Like what's going on?
No. Don't worry, when the time is right.
Well, there was something you said like you never take cognizance to time. I'm always taking cognizance to time, especially when I started out because it was always a case of I needed to be on the next thing. So interestingly for me, I started off with costume. I started off with costume and then acting on the
for
side.
real?
But like I dropped it 1.5 years into the game because because everyone was always telling me you need to be able to focus on one because with the way our industry works, if they see that you're doing this and this, they're not they don't want to be confused when they're in a casting room and they're like,
who you are.
he's not an actor, he's mostly crew. And so I had to drop it, and so that created like a huge like void for me because you know the way our Nigerian economy is, you need to find something that's putting food on your table while you're also chasing your passion. So it created like a huge void for me. And then that's when you and I got closer again because I knew that you were like talented with the camera and I was talented when it came to like social media and like thinking of ideas. Then we now like did like a couple of projects like back to back. So if we're not acting on set, we're either coming up with like an idea for something. And it frustrated us because I don't know why Nigerians have the idea of this thing needs to work now.
It's like I think it's at the core of it is if there isn't really clarity in what vision you have, they say when you don't have a vision, speed is a disadvantage. It's like when you don't know where you're going and you're running, you will crash. So it's like sometimes people don't really take time to want to know where they're going. So for me, why I don't really take cognizance that time is running out, it's because I have an understanding that I have where I'm going. So if it's going to take me this period to gather experiences, to learn to be patient, because patience is one currency that if you don't have in the film space, it will mess with your mental health. You will be frustrated and you will almost quit because you feel like and most times when people don't have that patience, it's because you're looking at what someone else is doing. It's like, oh my God, this guy's popping. And the truth of the matter is you're on a different journey. You're on a different race. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio is bothered what Brad Pitt's journey is like. It's like some people know that if it's going to take me 5 years to do this film, that's my niche. That's who I am. So I'm not bothered. And I think social media doesn't really help.
Especially in this country.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Especially in this country.
Everyone's happy on social media.
I had to learn like let's say around like my early 20s that it was all fake. I had to learn that it was all fake because I was always of the idea, oh my God, these people are doing this thing. So obviously if I do it exactly the same way they're doing it also, it's going to be real. But it was when I got into the space, I was like, oh my forget. it's all paparazzi and it's all camera, that type of stuff, especially when you're going out. Because I'm always cautious because like we've done projects that, like have made noise. Like we've done projects that have made noise. And like the other day I was at the supermarket and that was the one time I didn't care how I was looking because I'm like, I really just need to get something from the supermarket and go out. And I hear someone shouted Daffy.
Oh.
I'm like, no, not now.
Oh.
Not now.
That's another show I didn't know. I didn't know. It caused chaos. It did cause chaos.
I didn't expect the buzz that came from it like that. I didn't expect the buzz that came from it.
Because, usually when we've gotten so used to shows on certain platforms in Nollywood that's like, when it's out, it's like, oh yeah, it's just on that platform, it's just that you're just working. But like for it to
garner that much
noise,
especially on Twitter, like the buzz was real. Like, and I think that's when. So I think with our sets, like with our generation, we have to we experience multiple spikes. It's almost like boom. Then you're almost flatlining and like, oh my God, when is the next thing going to happen? Then you do a boom again. So my mentor told me something, and I'm doing my best to key into it. He said like with our generation, there's going to be a lot of fast rising stars that are going to fall really fast because they're not going to know how to maintain it. Because we have all these platforms coming and, once you get on the platform, you're like, oh, yes, I made it now. But how are you thinking in the long term? Like, how are you thinking long term? How are you thinking 5 years for your career? How are you thinking 10 years for your career? It's not a shade to the people because let's not even lie. Like, I used to be so optimistic and everything. I'm still optimistic, but now I've also put realism into it that not everybody is going to be the A-list, the B-list. Like there's going to be the B-list, there's going to be C-list, that type of stuff.
I don't know who made that list, but yeah.
You don't know who made that list. I don't know who is on the list. So what I've done to my mind is I've like whatever list I end up on, let me just know that I'm doing good at it.
What, for context, I didn't know Slum King was going to do damage. Like Slum King, and you know what's funny and not funny. What's funny is I go to church. I didn't expect people to know me from Slum King, because usually my church, school was the order of the day. And it was like, and all of a sudden one day church is over, going, and I hear Imole. I'm like, wait, you recognize me? Because I had worked with actors from Slum King who didn't even know that I was one playing Imole. The actor that played Madame Nos.
Yeah.
I worked with her on another project.
She didn't know it was you.
She didn't know it was me. It was later. She's like, you look familiar. Mama. We did Slum King. Because of the dreads.
Yeah.
And in as much as, because me, I am very big on changing my look. Something has to go. The hair has to go. The beard, the hair has to grow. Something has to be different. Else, I don't know. I just
almost feel like you're the same person.
Yes, something has to go. So it's like when it came on, and it's hard because I've walked past people and it's just like,
I feel like they do that thing.
like
They look at you and it's almost like they're looking at you like.
And I don't want to introduce myself, and then I'm like, why am I blowing my trumpet? Yes. Do you understand? But I feel like that's one advantage you have, and even Emeka. So it's like you cannot see Ade and not recognize that this is Ade.
No, so here's the thing. People always confuse. I've gotten so many. Oh my God! You look like Small Doctor. You look like Aproko. You look like Aproko. You look like Techno.
No,
I'm like, you guys calm down. I'm like, you guys calm down. Like these comparisons are too wild. Like Aproko, because I have this pair of glasses that I always wear. Like if I wear them, you can almost like my grandma literally called me the other day. Like,
wait, Aproko the comedian?
No, Aproko Doctor.
Aproko Doctor?
Yes. Apparently, my grandma says I look like him, and I'm like, no. Are you sure? No. But it's because there's this pair of glasses that I wear that he wears also, that type of thing. So people almost tend to confuse.
But like Small Doctor is wild though.
Yo, when they first did that comparison, I was like, if you don't get away from me, like I don't understand. Like, are we joking here?
Yeah, but he plays Slum King, so I think the casting director saw something similar. I was like, oh yeah.
So when I even initially, so funny enough, I wasn't actually supposed to get that role.
Slum King?
Yeah, I was supposed to play the brother. I think I was supposed to play banjo or something like that. But something happened and then they sold me. I was not like, oh, who's playing the older version of this? And then now told me it was Toby Backer. I was like, okay, I have to bring my A game because Gangs of Lagos had already come out. And I saw what he was able to do with that. I was like, okay, I have to bring my A game because I mean, if Toby delivers and then I'm very subpar with what I do, it's going to be obvious, and I don't want that because it was literally me that was, the series opens with my character and everything. I'm like, this is I needed to set the pace and everything. So I remember like being really scared. Like it was one of those films that that if you don't deliver with it, it's make or break.
The director doesn't smile.
Yeah. It's make or break.
It's like, next scene.
Yeah, next scene. So I was like, did I do well? That type of thing. So I always made sure that every day that I was supposed to be on set, I was doing my assignment. And because of the environments we were shooting in, you are not programmed to have that space to yourself because everyone is talking to you. We're literally in the slums, like in the actual ghetto.
Yeah.
So like from one scene to the other, there was one scene that we shot like 4 or 5 times because we were running.
Jesus.
And the Steadicam guy, and I'm like, hey, God. I literally enjoyed myself on set that day. I was like, you know what, it's the character that enjoyed himself. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. But like,
speaking of injury, same thing happened to me when we were filming Everything Scatter. I didn't even notice it. You know when you're filming, your adrenaline is up. When I went home to take a shower, Jesus.
It felt one sharp pain.
So basically, I was supposed to slide because someone got shot, supposed to slide, and like, oh no. And it was like, Kota, I didn't even, the adrenaline was so much, and at that time, a bullet was supposed to go, it was supposed to splash, and at the same time, so I kept doing it when I go home and I took a shower. Jesus, I didn't know where the pain was coming from. It was from my head or it was from my, it was crazy. But speaking of mentorship, you talked about your mentor, telling you, giving you advice. Um, how do you think mentorship has helped shape the kind of career that you want?
So I have different mentors for different things.
Okay.
Like, so when it comes to my finances, I have like a mentor for that because um my mentor always tells me that you don't want to be known only for quote unquote acting. You want to step outside of the space and be known for, like, you actually want to be a leader in the sense of the word. So I have someone that I look up to a lot. Her name is Teosia Kerele. So anytime she sees me, she's always telling me, I don't want you to be known as an actor. I want you to be known as a leader in your space. I want people to like look up to you and everything. So, it almost puts pressure on you, but it's also a case of she was able to do it, he was able to do it. So, I mean, the fact that they see what they saw in themselves a couple of years ago, it means that I can step into I can not like step into their shoes, but I can step into this and, become a better version of me. Because that's the beautiful thing about mentorship. Your mentors want you to almost always surpass them. They're almost like quote unquote your parents.
Yeah.
The parents that, quote unquote your parents, and they want you to do better than them. They want to see you shine. They want to see you like coming to what you're supposed to be, coming to your purpose and all that. So it's honestly actually helped me, because before it was a case of I just wanted to come into the industry and act and be known for it. But through like mentorship, I discovered that when it comes to coming, like my imagination, as a kid, my imagination was always wild. So because of that, I can ideate stories. I can't write. I'm not the best writer or anything, but I can ideate stories. So if you needed like a story idea now, or if someone needs a story idea, they almost always come up, I need an idea for a story. Or we want to come up with like something really short. What do you have in mind? That type of thing. So I'm always contributing in that type of space. Or like when it comes to, I know like I find the concept of our work very interesting. So maybe like producing something like I would almost want to step into. But I discovered all of these things because I had mentorship. If not, if I didn't have mentorship, I'd probably just want to be an actor for the entire sense of the word and like not use like my other talents, that type of thing.
Do you feel like there are factors that limit you both externally and internally?
So I feel like for internally, it would be a case of imposter syndrome. But that only started kicking in like recently, which is weird. I'd never had the problem of imposter syndrome before. And I think it's a case of, since Slum King has been out for over a year now, I have not had any project that's quite big
It
film.
has that
Yes,
level.
yes. I've been filming big projects, but I've not had any project that has come out to like do, that thing I mentioned of like it's almost like a wave, whereas they're doing like this. So right now, for me, it's almost like it's not flatlining. I mean, it's going at a really, so I haven't spiked again in my career. Nothing has come out that has made the spike go up again. So it's almost a case of, man, people are going to forget me, because that's how it is. People are going to forget me.
But
I'm not going to
personally,
remember it.
I don't agree that there has to be a chunk or a consistent churn out of work, because I think it's boring. I find it rather very uninteresting
Why?
if every 2 weeks there's a film you're bringing out. I think it's tiring. So here's why. I feel like the world works with seasons, right? You can't wear winter clothes in summer. So it means that when it's summer, summer comes with the vibe of summer.
Yeah.
When it's autumn, when it's winter, whatever season it is, it brings something different. So if on Monday you have a new film out, Saturday you have another film out, Sunday next week you have another film out, it's like, yes, I want to watch you very often, but at the same time I want to know that, oh, this is summer. It's just my perspective. Again, it's not a general rule that every creator or creative should go by. But personally, I want to, when it's this time, I want to make a film where my beard is like this, my hair is full, and I'm this different personality. And the next project I want to bring is, oh, I'm this guy on the beach who is, probably selling weed to people on the beach and just, having fun, partying. And another time, I just want to be something else. And I think this takes time to convince who's following your journey that, oh, this is new character unlocked. There's a way you will churn out films so often. It's like I don't think there's a new character unlocked.
You almost feel like it's the same
It's like
person.
do you understand?
Taking from what you said, so for me, I feel like it's a case of I want to be relevant in like almost every season. Do you get what I mean?
No, I get the part of relevance, right? There are actors that drop films every 48 hours and you can't still say that you're relevant. To be honest, because, and here's why it's very important. There's certain opportunities I've had to apply for, and I was glad for picking such quality of work. I'm not even lying to you. Bro, you can do 60 films, and say, for example, you're trying to get a global talent visa, and you see that none of these 60 films have given you what qualifies you for that visa. Can you call that relevance?
Yeah,
and someone has just done 3, and all 3 have AMA nominations, AMVCA nominations, has gone to Berlin Festival, and you see that you think you're not winning, but the truth is, in the long run, it's quality. So I'm not even saying don't work often. Please keep doing, but I'm saying sometimes switch. You understand? Made in Lagos shouldn't sound like Mariah. Don't worry. But like, I'm sorry.
I'm not doing that. I'm not engaging in that with you because I'm not really about it.
I mean, that was an example I could think of. But like, if this season, I'm having to do I'm trying to look for, I'm doing Batman this season. But like the next time you're seeing me, I'm in Thor playing, what's that character he played? The guy that had a kid. It was Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name.
So like when you see it, you're like, Baba don't quote hell. Do you understand? It's like you have that excitement.
Yeah, it's almost like a breath of fresh air.
Yes, because like your fans want to, oh my God, he has something else coming. I think I cherish that excitement that comes with when you have new work coming out. Because if I have a new work coming out, everybody's like, oh yeah, all right, great. Yeah. It's depressing.
Yeah, but for I would say for our film space, it doesn't work like that over there. It's almost a case of if you're almost in everything that's coming out back to back to back to back. I'll take for example, then the year I got into the industry, DM was almost in every film, and I was like,
who's that?
DM.
Oh yeah.
He was almost in every film that was coming out. I was like, no, forget.
But so you see the thing with DME now is that with everything it does, it carries power.
Yes, true.
So it's not a case of I see DME and I don't want to know what it's doing. Because if I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and they were properly executed, I want to see what's in 6. And I still think that even with DME, it's not the kind of it's not the kind of massive, it's still there, but like the pace is not too fast. Bro, there are people that are releasing 5 projects in 1 month. It's like, do you rest? Do you have time to re-strategize? Do you have time to check your health? Because the thing with actors is we're so passionate that we forget this is not a machine.
Yeah.
Do you understand? This is not a box, an empty box of wood. This is your instrument. So it's like if you, out of wear and tear, you keep doing, you just slum. And then you can't even make it. Like mentally, I don't know how people do it. I can't do it. That you just finish now. I'm on this set today, and I know it's crazy. Rent is expensive. This is how you pay your bills. Not everybody's that fortunate to have another side to their career, So I'm not even going to judge you, but I'm just saying, sometimes find a means not to kill this instrument, because
I actually had to learn that, because for me it was always almost a case of as I'm finishing, when I want to get a phone call of, oh, well, on this project. No. But I recently just realized like those rest periods are needed so that you could also grow, and you're not bringing almost the same thing to the table, because you don't want to be that sort of person of, oh, we saw you do this. Like there hasn't been any growth for me in the last 2 years, because you've been you've been so quote unquote occupied with work that you've not had time to yourself to actually
to gather
because
experiences.
there was a video I sent you yesterday. I sent you a video yesterday. It was a case of as an actor when the character is not doing anything. I completely it was almost a case of if I have a scene where I'm not doing anything, it's almost a case of sometimes it comes to my subconscious that I shouldn't just be sitting down in this thing. But I actually learned that, you should because it's when you're I'm not supposed to do anything in this scene. That's when you're acting. But when you're that like how you're twiddling your thumbs right now, that type of stuff, that's when you are being a human being that people can relate to. But I knew that in my subconscious, right? But it almost doesn't come to light because I don't practice it so much. But now that I've seen it, I now know that it can almost now always come to the forefront of my mind that, okay, this character isn't doing anything at this moment. I can employ this means to like bring more color or more flavor to the character.
Speaking of characters, what is your mantra for characterization?
So I read the script first. For me, I read the script first. Then I now read it again to get it from the character's point of view, depending on type of.
Do you think you have enough time?
So for me, I've always been like grace to have enough time. I've always been like grace to have enough time. Then there's sometimes like I do pick up shoots, so I get to go back to the character and like do what I wasn't able to do with it before.
I swear, I've recently come to realize that sometimes after doing all these things that you've done, I feel like for me, what I try to do is I try to reach out to the writer first because she wrote the character. Because I've been in situations where, and this is even on the day of the premiere. I'm not even lying. So when I did not come to you by chance. Who I thought this character was, how I had envisioned this character. And then I'm having a conversation with the writer of the novel herself. And she's like, oh, I swear, when I was writing Kingsley, I didn't even think he looks like this. I didn't even think, but it didn't mean that. She said, oh yeah, I like what you did with it, but when I was writing it, I didn't think of him like this. So it's funny how we can have several perspectives, even when we're reading the same thing, as to who this person is, the reasons why they are, making this decision part-time, per event. But like, I like to reach out to the writer first. I want you to tell me everything that went through your head while you were writing this guy. Now, I now take that information and start building on it. It's unfortunate that sometimes when I ask, oh, please, is it possible to speak to the writer? It's like, how we are in our industry. But no time. You understand? But like, the truth is, if I'm fortunate, I always like to speak to the writer because I want to know who this person is. Because you're not on set most of the time when we're filming. So I don't want you to watch something else and you're like
what is going on? Like, what are you doing? But I feel like, so there's a pro to that, but the con could also be because of what the writer is telling you, it can now influence your decision. You get what I mean?
No, to be honest, I don't think as an actor, I don't think, now I have, my taste that I want to add to it. But like, I don't go to set saying I have made XYZ decision.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the truth is, you don't know what the set is like. You don't know what the production design is like. Say, for example, you're playing Superman and you don't know if they have a cape for you to wear. Now you have to work with something else. So if you had imagined that in this scene, you do your cape like this, and there's no cape, now you have to, so I go very open-minded. Sometimes, in fact, I go like I don't know anything. And if I'm fortunate to work with a director that loves to communicate, oh my God, if I work with directors that like to have conversations, it gives me so much joy and so much confidence because, I just casually go and like, look, what do you think? This is what, I am thinking, but what exactly are you thinking? I was like, oh yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny that if you have seen similar films that, interest your director, he becomes your best friend. I'm not even going to lie to you. While filming, I do not come to you by chance, right? There was a scene where, it was a campaign scene, right? So the character Cash Daddy was supposed to give this massive speech of how he would change their lives. And I walk into sets and I'm seeing a group of people wearing all white. And I'm seeing the way it is set up. And I'm like, is this from Judas and the Black Messiah? And it's like, because automatically I could see what was going on. And what that did is he didn't need to explain too much what was going on. He already you remember that scene from, I'm like, yeah, So if you can have the director to effectively communicate to you, the writer communicate to you, and you find an agreement, now you can put your taste. Now you can just act. Because I feel like actors are clean slates. The thing is now, your perspective is nice, but if you're not careful, you would always bring Adeoluwa into the character.
Well, yeah, I completely feel you.
Always
completely
bring
feel you.
into character.
That's why I always like to relate to my close, especially when you and I are on the same project. We almost always call almost always on phone calls and we're like, how far? What do you think about? We recently just shot the project that's not yet out. We can't say the name yet.
Yeah.
And we played brothers. We played brothers and everything. And one thing I liked about it is for every we had done the rehearsal.
Yeah.
But then when we got on set, for every take, we're almost always trying to find a way to do something different with it because it was that way we know that they have multiple choices and the one they eventually decide to pick, we were good with it. And we could almost mind read each other because I know with you always like to try new stuff and put the other person on the spot. I mean, for someone that doesn't,
I do?
not put the other person on the spot.
Okay.
I noticed it with Schooled when we showed Schooled. Yeah. You were using a lot of improv and everything.
The truth is you would even blame me because okay, if the show is out, so there's really nothing anybody can do. You wouldn't really blame me because sometimes the things on the script, right, were mostly, I don't want to use the word synopsis. So it's the director comes, oh, hi, Paul. So this is the scene where, you found this man found you, caught you doing this. So, we don't really have dialogues for it to just go for it. And truth is, the lines were very shallow. They're very shallow. It's we're supposed to have this communication, this banter. And it's just hey, my guy, how are you? Fine. Have you eaten? Yes. So how's that supposed to show, that, what this mood is? So that's why School was like that.
But I noticed you always try to put the person on their toes, but see what the person. So I now decide. So when I'm working with you, I just know that I shouldn't play it how we've rehearsed it. You always like to move it up and down. I know with some people, they almost like to play it how we've rehearsed it. And for me, it almost always feels boring because we can add some thing to the scene, that type of thing. Imagine if I'm coming with so much passion and energy and you're coming with, we rehearsed this thing already, now let's just stick to, which is calm. But for me, I always like to let the emotion lead the character, not me as a person. I'm leading the character with my emotions, that type of person. So yeah, that's how it works with me. So I pick from, I will read from my POV, every other character's POV, and I also discuss with the other characters, actors, and everything. What do you think about this person? What do you think this person would do to you? That's why I also enjoy working with Sharon Rotimi. Sharon Rotimi puts me on my toes. I will not even going to lie to you.
How do you work with Jemima?
Jemima, I haven't watched Jemima yet. But
she's the queen of improv.
Sharon Rotimi puts me on my toes. Sharon is not doing anything, but she almost has this presence. She has this presence, and you know that, okay. Okay. So in your head, it's almost okay, that you can't, because she's the type of person that she won't let you're not going to know. I'm going to do my thing and I'll shine in it.
But to be honest, I never think of it as give me, I give you back, give me, I give you back.
Oh, no. So it's not a case of give me, I give you back. It's a case of, I see what you're doing there. Let me pick up on it and see if I can match you.
If you don't, it would be obvious.
Yes.
So in the Nollywood space, with all the challenges that it comes with as a young, I don't know if I should even say, yes, you're always a rising star. So there's never, there's always a rising star. First thing, tell me the challenges and how you've tried to, maneuver those challenges, those hurdles.
Picking my circle. Picking my circle. I had to be very, very careful about that. my mom always had this thing, you don't have to be friends with everybody. My mom always told me that. But I'm always like, life is like to be lived. Like you should have friends with. But it wasn't until you start growing older and then you now see those things that your mom used to tell you.
There are reasons.
That the reason why. So like take for example, picking my circle. I'm this sort of person is like I like to forgive my French. I like to talk my shit. Like I will say I will do this thing and I will do it. You understand? Like take for example, I shot leaked with this thing, Trooks and Tommy, and we made a video. I'm like, guys,
leaked?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, guys, we're gonna win an AMVC with this thing. So
and you did?
Yeah, and we won an AMVC for it. I'm that type of person that I like to talk. I will say it, like I really know, but I had to learn that. See,
sometimes people think you're cocky.
Yeah, people think you're cocky, and I've always had that problem. People always like, ever since I got into the industry, people always thought I was cocky, and that's not just the case. I just like to say what I want, and I will work to. It's not as if I'm just chilling in the background and I expect it to happen.
Yeah.
I'll say what I want, and I expect it.
I don't think there's anything wrong. So
I think it's the quote unquote Nigerian mentality of like, who do you think you are to say that type of thing? Do you understand what I mean?
But like,
because it even comes from even our peers, that type of stuff. I mean, there was a time I, made a video and then even tweeted it, and I was like, "Oh, Nigeria's best chance of an actor winning an Oscar." And if see the backlash.
That's bold.
No, so that's the type.
That's
Like
bold.
that's how I grew up. My parents always told me, whatever it is.
Like you said, Nigeria's
Yeah.
best chance. It's like all of us, our best chance. That's bold of you.
Forgive me, like like I said, it was in my first year of being in the industry that I did that type of stuff. So I didn't really
passion.
Yeah, it was out of passion. It was out of this thing. Do I still believe like I will win an Oscar? I believe it, but I mean, if someone else wins it before me, all well and good. I know that I will still win that type of this thing. It wasn't a shade to anyone, but I remember one of my friends calling me that day, like, Adeoluwa, I've told you, like, you always talk too much. I'll stop advising you, like, you don't listen. I'm like, it's not even like that. You just have to understand where I'm coming from, that type of thing.
And then, like, 10 years later, they will ask you, "Oh, Ade, where's your Oscar?"
Do you understand? Because I know that, do you understand? I know that, so it's almost a case of it's almost a case of.
Oh, you didn't get what I said? It was a prayer. It's like 10 years later, they'll ask you, "Where's your Oscar?" And you say,
like, "Oh, it's beside
next to the other one."
Oh, like, you know the vibe. You know the vibe. I feel you like that's the type of thing. Like, so picking your circle, like people that actually they know that you are not cocky like that, or they know that you are not this person, that type of thing. I think and also another thing for me is like being very underrated and like not underrated in the sense that you can't do this thing now. Like
unpredictable.
Yes. He can't do this. I don't think he can do this and that type of stuff. Because I mean, I've been to audition rooms and then I eventually get the role, and they now tell me, "We do not see you in it, though. Let me be honest with you, we do not see you in it. We had already cast someone else for it, but for some reason, we decided to go with you." And it's almost so. And then the way they now say it, it's almost like condescending. Like, you should be lucky we gave it. I'm like, in my head, I'm always and my face. If I don't say it, my face will do the talking.
I'm not going to mention the project, but I think we were both at the audition.
Oh.
Me, you, Kanaga, it's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I don't want to mention the name. And then someone walks into the room. And we'd all submitted our tapes online. And we all got called back. And in fact, I'd gotten a tape. I'd gotten, "Oh, sorry, we went in that direction." Fine, cool. And I now got a physical invitation again. I'm like, And so when I now got there, and also a multitude again, I'm like, I thought the tape was to streamline. And then someone walks into the room and she says, "I don't see any of the character in this room." Or like, "I didn't see any of you." And we were just about to audition physically. She's like, "I watched all your tapes." And I'm like, why would you do that to people that are already nervous? Because the room we were nervous in that room. So why would you come into the room and say, "I didn't really see anyone. Anyway, next, this is who's on the Adeoluwa, come on audition." I'm like, God, the audition room
is already tense
enough. And then you already inform us that by default, we're not qualified. Anywho.
But what about for you? What have been your challenges?
So I'd say, circling back to something you said about someone not really thinking you can do it. I had played Igbo speaking roles, right? And I am auditioning for an Imole character. And it's like How now?
Oh, really?
You know, it's like, and you know, that's why his name is Don. You know, forever and ever, I would hold him here, you know, to my heart, because it's rare to find people that fight
Yeah.
for you to get something. They're not even fighting because it's beneficial to them. It has no benefit. It's not even because you are my guy. Because if you look at the circumstances, I'm not really your guy. You know me. But like, I think when God just puts your name in people's hearts, it's like the way Pharaoh saw Sarah in his dream and is like, Abraham, why didn't you tell me Sarah is your wife? Oh yeah, go, go, go. It's like when God puts your name in people's hearts, it's like they're gonna they want to it's rare to find people like that. So like, not thinking Paul can do this, even at the audition stage, and then someone's like, he can do it. I know that he can do it. You know, even when I was auditioning for Everything Scatter, the first time I went for the audition, it was the second time. Jade now told me, when I saw you, I didn't think that. But when I came the second time, Don was like, guy, shave your beard. Come for this audition. I'm like, sorry? Shave my beard to come for an audition? This beard that I've been struggling to grow. Shave is like, trust me, just shave it. I'm like, trust me. Sure. God. So now what I did is I took down the site, I left this one, I said, no, shave everything. And so I shaved everything. And then I walk into the room. He said, hey, now you look like the person I was looking for. And you know what's funny? No, I'm going to save the story for later when I'm collecting my...
Yeah, what?
Real. But like, yeah, I think people not thinking you can do certain things because and that's why I try not to have a known personality, because I feel like if you know my personality, like, am I allowed to mention names? Say, for example, I'm a skit maker. You know that this is my character.
Yeah.
It's hard, and that's why I really love what Nollywood is doing with Mr. Macaroni. It's like there's Mr. Macaroni,
And then there's Debo.
and there's Debo, you know, and they've somehow, not everybody's that lucky that you have a character that, you know, is very peculiar to you, but people want you to try something else that still makes sense. It's funny how when you watch Debo, you don't even think of Mr. Macaroni.
You know,
You
it
know,
was so recently when I saw Emily Shabi, and I remember that. Wait, oh, isn't this?
have gone
He's
far.
always doing.
You have gone
He's always
far.
doing.
Do you understand?
All these
Freaky,
things.
freaky.
Freaky, freaky. That type of this thing. But
he did it somehow,
Yeah.
you know, when he was toasting a baby and whatnot. But like, you can still see that this guy can do something else. And I even think that there's more that, you know, the keys would unlock. But like, you know, people seeing you and like, I don't see, and you know, our industry is very fond of stereotyping, right? It's like the moment I think of that time, the moment I think of a bouncer that is huge, Gentle Jack comes into play, you know, and anytime you see Gentle Jack on screen, you know, it's that big guy that's just the rock of. Anytime you see Sento B that time, it's like someone is taking a gun, or anytime you see Tony Omez, there's somebody that is darling. So it's like when they think of this thing and, you know, having to convince them, if grace is not on your side, that's one challenge. And I think another challenge that I have faced is stories. It's hard because you want to work as an actor. It's very hard that you know, you can't even turn down roles, not even because you're broke at the moment, even though sometimes you're really broke and the money's enticing, and even if you call 25 million, it's like, okay, let's do 24, you know. But like, the truth is, stories have been my major issues, and I'm reading a script and I'm like, what is going on?
No, there's too much going on.
You know, it's sometimes you're like, I'm watching so much good stuff that I really want to do good. And you know, sometimes you get that script and like, yes, I like it.
Then when they
Let's
shoot
do
it.
Not even when they shoot it. I'm even talking about that, you know, that first excitement. Because if you're not interested in a project, there's always a difference when you're doing a project for money and when you're doing it because you're interested. When you're doing it for money, when they call pickups, you are like, no, I have another, you know, or you want to, it's that it's not like a transaction. It's not transactional. But if you're interested in a project, you will beg them to do this pickup. You will beg them to have another take because you feel like a props that was supposed to be in that scene just came. You would fight for a lot of things. So for me, it's a challenge because a lot of times when you read a script, it doesn't give you that, oh my God, I can't wait to shoot this, kind of feeling. And I don't want to go on set just waiting for the wrap day. It's like even though I don't necessarily enjoy the story, I still try to, do my best, do my part. Because then again, it is work. It's a film. I don't think every actor will have films that excite them all through their careers.
I think for me it's been different because most of the stories I've only had one film that's not yet out. I mean, the story excited me, but when we now came to shooting, but like most of the projects I've done have always excited me.
Yeah.
They've always excited me. So like I think I'm really lucky with that. Well, not lucky, blessed per se. But when we now come to shooting, the way they treat you, that type of stuff, the way you are addressed, it's almost like then so you almost start losing. I mean, I'm passionate about this thing. I'm passionate about this thing, but the way you're treating me, like I'm a human being. Also, forget that the fact that okay, I'm a product that you're trying to use to sell your this thing, but treat me accordingly. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like show me that type of respect, and I think they need to do more of that with our generation also because yes, you're not exactly doing us a favor. It's a symbiotic relationship. Let's be honest. You saw something in me. You chose me for the character. So don't let us come on set and you almost start treating me as if I'm a third world citizen or I'm a third class citizen and I should be grateful that I'm on your project. Yes, I'm on your project, but you should also be grateful that I'm gracing your this thing, your
Now
set with my time.
that's where it's kind of been different for me. I don't know, but like sometimes, and I think it's understanding the human psychology. I've worked with people only for me to hear that, oh, this person is the shittiest person to ever exist. I'm like, oh, really?
That's happened to me.
I didn't
That's
know.
happened to me.
Because it was a
like
different
recently
experience.
I shot a project and they're like, this
did
person's
you
horrible,
cope?
this person's horrible, this person's horrible.
It wasn't like
And
that for
I
me.
kid not with you, I hadn't experienced that side of the person till the last day of the project.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my
Well, that's
goodness,
different.
like you really had to confirm everything they were saying.
like for me, to be honest, and also again, sometimes if you master controlling your emotions, you'll get to a point where someone is trying to be a douchebag, you don't even notice. And someone else tells you, this is what that person was doing. Like, just like the way I told that time when I first saw you in your school, I was like, why are they doing this guy like this? Because they were sort of giving us elite treatment. And Ade comes one day to set and Ade's like, okay, you want me to change? You want me to, as I'm like, why are you doing this to this guy? Because we know how we've been treated. Do you understand? So like I wasn't comfortable with it, but I didn't even notice because Ade was just here to do the job. He was hungry, he was passionate.
I was, and I cannot.
Do you understand?
I tell you how I got that role. It was literally the day before. They said send an audition tape. I sent it like, okay, come to so and so location. I came to say it's like, bro. When I think about it, they hassled me. When I say they hassled me with the payment, they hassled me with the payment. But I really didn't think about it because I really just wanted to work. I really just wanted to work and everything.
And that's sacrificial.
So for me, it was a case of let this thing be out. Let me do the work. I'm working. New set of people, new experience, that type of stuff. So like, that was it for me. But now, there's a part where you have to realize that as much as I'm working, this is what puts food on my table. So you're not going to cheat me.
Yeah.
You're not going to cheat me because I need not like I need it, but like I want to do it. So you want to pay me.
But have you been able to find ways to, if not solve, but cope? Like I said, for me, I master my emotions so much that because I know that I need sanity of mind to be able to deliver, I sometimes solve all my problems. So if food is the issue on set, there's one food court somewhere that I've already made.
If we're on the same program, we almost always do that. We almost always that.
Baba, I didn't find the.
If they tell me like, oh, this is so and so.
So I don't even get upset.
Like, so half of the time I don't get upset. It's when like it's now affecting the job as a whole, or when I see that it's affecting, I can now be like, okay, I think we should like all speak up because it. What you can tolerate, the next person can't tolerate.
To be honest.
And almost always affects how it looks like on screen. Because like someone can be
No,
really
don't get me wrong. It's not. I don't even think it's tolerance. It's two different things. I don't think it's tolerance. I think it's. I think it's. How do I explain this? So, for example, this is what tolerance is. Oh, they've not given us food. Yeah, I'll not talk. You just stay there, and then you bear the hunger. They ask you, "Are you fine?" Yes, I'm fine. Um, okay, we're about to shoot these three scenes, and you've not even had breakfast, and it's like 4. Then that's you tolerating at the verge of, masking your emotions, swallowing things. That's going to make you much more depressed. But like what I'm saying is, instead of me waiting for them to give me breakfast, it's like, it's 12, I've not eaten. Sins are coming in like tomorrow, no day, I'm changing. Energy is expended. I have ordered my food. Do you see the time that dispatch rider comes with that food? It's like, PM, my food is here, please. Let me just, and the funny thing is, I'd say it in the best possible way that, I can get away with it. It's like, oh my Baba me, I want to go chop food. So like, I go and eat, and then I'm back. I didn't tolerate your bullshit. I just found a way not to make it a big deal. And for me, what I prioritized was my mental space and my belly, So am I eating? Yes. Can we shoot? Yes. You understand? So I don't think necessary, because if you tolerate too much, the day you change,
Yeah, it's almost a case
so
of
it's like you're not proud,
yeah.
So it's like, make your intentions clear. And the thing is, no matter how nice you are, no matter how appropriately you say it, there's always somebody that will pick offense to what you have said. And you don't have control over that. You don't have control. You can be so nice and say, "Oh my God, please, I really think, breakfast should come on time, in the nicest way." Somebody picks offense. That's not your headache to deal with, So you just, for me, everybody on set should prioritize their mental, because I need it to work. I can't cry when I'm hungry. It's like, you're supposed to cry in this scene, but I need the emotion. Director is telling you, and this, Baba, give me food. Because, so I need to be able to, and there's sometimes when, um, if you're filming with directors that are very critical, like Ishaya Bako is the most critical person you can ever work with. It's like you are shooting 2 scenes in one day, and it's like you've done 67 scenes. Because there's, from one angle, there's one, and he's following the mood board to the letter. It's like, no, we have to do it. That's the director that makes production extend budget. So if you're working with that kind of person, you don't want to work with that kind of person and be upset. Because what will happen is both of you fight. So you want to work with that person in the best possible way that you can understand what they're trying to achieve and collaborate with them.
Yeah, I feel you.
And you can only do that when you are happy. So it's like, oh yeah, oh okay, that's a great scene. Oh, okay, that's a great idea. Let's do it. That's the mindset I want to have. That, Paul, you're supposed to somersault from Third Mainland Bridge and float. And I'm like, oh, that would be cool.
I don't know. They give you insurance to be.
No, like, I'm just saying, like, even in the extreme of it,
Yeah, I feel you.
You are, ready to do it. And you can tell. I could tell that Toby was excited shooting Gangs of Lagos.
Yeah.
I could tell. Like, you can see it. That's like, yeah. That's what I want to be on set. I don't want to be on set. And they're like, so Paul, this is your mother, or this is your girlfriend. I want to see that love, that connection. And I'm supposed to say some Tony Umez type shit. And I can't, because I am starving. Or the cloth they gave me is soaked with sweat from yesterday, and it's thinking, I can't, So I need to always prioritize. That's how I cope with, challenges like that. That's it. For me, what my plan for the next 5-10 years is, at the end of the 5 years, or before the end of the 5-10 years of my career, I want to be able to have fluid movement, cross-cultural, be able to go from Nigeria to SA to America to London without restrictions. So it's part of my plan to have a fluid global movement. Because the truth is, I think it's something that's limited our industry and our actors especially. Say, for example, an agent from New York sees your work, reaches out to you. Hi, I have a project for you that I would like you to be on. And the time frame for you to get that visa is a year. And the Home Office is telling you there's no interview till 2005, 2025. So it limits you, it restricts you, or you can't even go to the UK to do work. You're just limited here. And it's going to tie you down, because the truth is you need to see how
It's done.
it's done all over the world, in South Africa and wherever, so that you can carry that expertise and experience into your industry and grow. Because I don't want to say I don't believe in the Hollywood dream. Why am I going to an industry that people that have
Eons
conquered?
ahead,
You
yeah.
understand? It's like, no, not even eons ahead. It's like they're more in number than here. The competition is more fierce. You have people from Yale, from New York Film Academy, that have solid connections, that are still struggling to get roles. Yes, I get the place of grace and God and whatnot, but like, why don't you invest in your industry that is growing, that is reputable? Because the truth is, we know small. Forget Marvel that is, showing off. We're not small. But I feel like, Nollywood has a lot of potential, and it just needs money, expertise, experience, collaboration. And then it's part of my, plan. And I feel like every actor should work towards it. Having to be able to be fluid. It's like they can call you now. Can you come? There is BET going on. And you're like, what will I go and do? God himself will be like, okay, so if I want to bless you with a Hollywood
Yeah,
gig,
do you understand? Like, you understand?
do you understand? It's like you have to start, that whole process. If possible, create ease of business, or a means that could cause ease of business for my fellow creatives. Like, okay, this is a program that can help creatives be able to have fluidity, from one industry to another industry across the globe.
Yeah, so I'd say for me, it would be like the same thing you said, but like, not like I want to conquer that space, but if you've noticed, we don't really have any Nigerian-born person that has crossed culture.
We do.
Who?
What's his name? Oh Jesus, he was in Dune. God, what's his name? Oh, he has this striking look. Did you watch Powerpuff Girls? He looks like, no, that's a wrong example. Sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Girls.
They say the villain in Powerpuff Girls, what's his name?
Mojojojo.
Yes, so he has this Mojojojo shape of face. Hey, that's bad. If he sees these things, he's gonna hate me. But like, yeah, we do, but they're
Yeah.
not that popular.
Yeah,
What last call me? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, so like I want, well, like you said, we do. Maybe I just haven't done enough research, but like I want to be.
For respect's sake, I'll just quickly bring him up. But I'm listening to you.
Yeah, but like I also like want to be one of the actors that in Nigeria that has been able to cross culture also, like do films in Kenya, do films in South Africa, do films, and also like create like a space where, as younger people don't face the same thing we had to face, like creating opportunities.
Babs Olusomo. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but Babs is his name.
Babs.
Yes, I'll show you his picture later.
Okay, no problem. But like I want to be able to like create avenues and like solutions to the current problems that we have in current industry, so that the younger generation that's coming out.
What are you saying, Demi? Wait, stop playing. Go on.
Yeah, but like create problems, like create solutions, not create problems, create solutions to like the problems that we face, so that the younger generation doesn't have to face them. And then it's almost a case of like we're trying, like, because if you think about it, right now our generation we don't have enough stories that go around for like our sets. So it's almost a case of when there's an audition, I see you in the room, I see Kanaga in the room, I see